you see where they've gone wrong, and you want to avoid that in your own city or other cities that you love. So the gift has been the opportunity to see the vastness and the variety of this world. It's not just been the United States. I've been able to now go all over the world. I've done conventions in Europe, in Latin America, in Asia, and in Australia. And as a matter of fact, today is Saturday. In 1, 2, 3, next Tuesday, I'll be on a plane headed to Australia. The first to, you're an Australian? You're the one that likes to move. Oh, thank you. I'll be in Melbourne, Australia, and then Sydney, Australia, where I do some work with the U.S. State Department, and then Brisbane, Australia. So the gifts have been undreamed of, and I feel that I need to do what I can to give back, to help make this a better world.
Thank you.
Unrelated to your acting work, I remember a few years ago on your website you had it was a video tour of the Los Angeles public transit system.
Oh, yes.
And I was curious, I know you were on the board of directors and how you got involved with that, and are you still involved with that?
Yes. Did you all hear that question? He saw on my website a little video I did about the public transit situation in Los Angeles. And he learned from that I was on the board of directors of the Southern California Rapid Transit District. And the question was, how did that come about? Well, I've been an activist in the political arena for a long, long time in Los Angeles, from my late teens. I was involved in the Adlai Stevenson for President campaign, then a U.S. senatorial campaign, the Governor of California's campaign, and I was unsuccessful at all three of them. Happy days weren't here again. And then my fourth political campaign that I engaged in was that of my city councilman. He was running for mayor of Los Angeles. His name was Tom Bradley. He's passed now. He was a good man, and my parents had a fundraising for him in our living room. And now he was running for mayor. And so I became actively involved in this campaign. He asked me to head up the Asian Americans for Tom Bradley campaign. And we won. For the first time, my political advocacy effort was successful. And he became the first and only African American mayor of Los Angeles, the only mayor of Los Angeles to serve 5 terms, 20 years. Wow. And he left his office as the single most popular mayor, even when he was retiring. So he was an extraordinary man. But after he was elected mayor of Los Angeles, he appointed me to the Southern California Rapid Transit District Board of Directors. And I said, well, I used to be an architecture student. I studied urban planning, but I'm an actor. So, why did you appoint me? And he said, well, when he had a press conference and the press asked him, why did you appoint George Takei, an actor? And he said, well, on the news, or on TV, I've seen George Takei flying from Alpha City 4 to Starbase 6. And so there's no reason why he can't take us from downtown Los Angeles to Van Nuys.
That's a cute story. That's nice.
But I really am interested in the subject. As I said, I studied urban planning. Public transit is so important because there's some people that would not be able to get to their jobs without easy, affordable, convenient public transportation. And the mayor's mandate to us was LA needs a subway system. Our freeways are clogged, it's useless. So work to get started on building a subway. So I clicked my heels together with the other members of the board, and we got the half-cent sales tax passed, which was a real struggle. People don't like taxes, even if it's a half cent. But that was our local match. And now that we had our local match, we went to Washington, D.C. to get the big federal match. And we succeeded in getting that. And then we went to Sacramento, our California state capital, to get the state match. And after we got the funds all together, was the next big fun but also very challenging part, to hold public hearings. First on the route alignment, which roads are we going to go through to get going from downtown LA to Van Nuys. And some people wanted it this way, and other people didn't want it that way. So we had to give the rationale and persuade the public. And then once we got the route set, we had to select the station locations. And some people wanted a station in their business district, and other people didn't. So it was a lot of working with people, getting to understand the issues that they were concerned with, but also explaining to them why it's important that we have the subway system. And I served for 11 years until we got to the point where we were ready to start construction. And that's when I went to the mayor and I said, I'm an actor, I don't need to be wildly popular, but once we start digging underground and putting detours and diverting traffic, businesses are going to be hurt temporarily. And people's commute is going to be made either more inconvenient or more time consuming. And I cannot afford to be hated by people. That's what's going to be happening. And I might see people picketing my home saying George Takei ruined my business. So I said, I'd like to be excused from the board. And so after 11 years, I quit. But I'm still very much a civic busybody and offering opinions to all the commissioners and elected officials. But let me suggest to you, come to Los Angeles and enjoy a spectacular galactic ride on the newest subway system in the United States, the Los Angeles Metro Rail system. You're all coming. There is a representative from the Howard Stern Show right here amongst us. Where are you, Wolfie? Oh, Wolfie's gone home.
He's not here.
Well, I'm sure he interviewed me a little bit earlier, and I'm sure they're going to take that interview and juggle the words around and have me say outrageous things on that show. I am girding my loins. You rascal. Well, I hadn't heard of Howard Stern at all. I didn't know who he was. But I was doing an off-Broadway play in New York. And when you're doing a play, the publicist gives you your assignment every morning to promote the play. And that particular morning, I had 3 radio stations to go to. And one of them was the Howard Stern Show. As I said, I didn't know him from Adam. I went there, and they asked me to wait, so I was sitting in the waiting room, leafing through some magazines. And they had the radio on. And it was the most disgusting conversation. And I said to the other guy waiting there, you know, why don't they get some nice music on? this is really reprehensible, this sort of conversation. And he said, that's a show we're waiting to go on. I thought, oh my. And then they came to get me, and I didn't know what to expect, but they ushered me in, and here was this radio studio, and behind this counter with all the mics was this skinny, tall, bespectacled guy with a mop of curly hair. And I said, good morning, and he said, oh, you have a deep voice. Anyone who has a voice that deep must have a big dog. I said, I beg your pardon? Are we on the air? He said, yes. And I said, oh my. He had that on tape. And so whether I'm there or not, he always, when someone says or does something outrageous, he presses that button and my voice comes on. Oh my. So people think I'm there all the time. I just got the high side. But let's take one more then. The last one. Right there.
I was wondering, since you travel so much, you probably have a ton of funny stories about your travels, mishaps or stuff that's happened to you. I was wondering if you could share one of those.
I have. But, and this was a trip to England, and my passport had expired. It's a long story, and I was given the high sign. So ask me something that's going to take only just a few seconds to answer. I will tell you that privately. But it was a trip to, what part of, it was in the Midlands. It took 3 days to get there. And Bill Shatner and I were supposed to do that gig together. I got there just in the nick of time, a little bit late. And when I arrived at that table there, they were holding a press conference, and I sat down. He said to me, "Where the hell have you been?" I told Bill, "You don't want to know." It was a horror story. An expired passport, urgency of being there. I'll tell you that when I have a lot of time. Thank you all very much.